Good evening and welcome to Behind Closed Doors with myself, Sandy and Sue. I've got to introduce my co-hosts because if at any time that I can't do the show, then one of these guys will step in for me. And Sandy will hopefully have the opportunity to interview some. I would like him to see if he can bring Robert on one night. And if he can do a show with Robert, then I'll let him have that show for him to bring Robert on, because I think people need to meet. Is it Robert Sprawl? You're muted, Sandy. You're muted, mate.
Yep, you're spot on, Alan. That's what it is. He's a fantastic guy, knows his stuff. You know, when it comes to common law, he's the best in Scotland.
Now, I wouldn't mind being part of it because I really, I'm getting to know my common law through Delroy and Charles Ernest Spencer. And there's quite a few other people that know it, and you'll be surprised how much Sean knows as well. Sean is very good, and he was on the song last night. Very good. It kind of like, it was one of them nights where Sean had an answer to everything. He was kind of champion or chafing at the bit, if you want to say. Everything I said to him, he had an answer for. He was brilliant. But my argument would be, why are the police, when it comes down to common law, why do the police use common law when it suits them? And then the oldest law in the land is common law. We know that. And it goes back to some of Scottish is based on the Arbroath Agreement and common law. To this day, still to this day, Sandy. And you know how many battles that the Scottish had with the English, and it was similar to kind of like common law. You wanted the rights to your own lands, and you were fighting the barons for the rights of your own lands as they were in England. And I've got to try and do some research. I keep meaning to do it. Apparently, I didn't know this, but one of the oldest battles was in Lincolnshire. Apparently, one of the oldest battles for where the peasants took the pitchforks and took arms and went up against the lords of the lands, and it's one of the oldest battles. So that's got to be interesting to try and find a little bit more about. So I've got to find. I know there's a place called. I did speak about this once before, and I was getting Running Mead because there was a battle of Running Mead. And I was getting that mixed up. I think it was in the 1600s. But Winsby is a place in Lincolnshire near Horncastle, and that was to do with a lot of, I don't know whether it's because it was farmland or Queen's Estate or whatever the case it might have been, or if it went back as far as that, Queen's Estate. I ain't too sure, but I'll have to have a look into that one because I'm intrigued by things like that, and sometimes something floats your boat and you look at it and you think, oh, I need to look into this a little bit more.
It's amazing. It's amazing when you do a bit of research and what you can come up with.
Yeah, that's true. Did you see the statement by the Scottish minister, or I don't know if it was a Scottish minister? Oh no, it was a police commander of Police Scotland.
Oh, is that Ian Livingston?
Yes.
See, I've seen a few things about him. You know, I've seen quite a few.
Any joy, Sue?
I've sent it to him.
Oh, good girl. Thank you for that.
I see another incident yesterday up in George Square with the police again.
Yeah, I see that.
It was after it was finished, right enough. It was.
Why did they do that? Why did they wait till it's finished and then they know people are going to go home?
Oh, well, George Square, Glasgow, along with Glasgow Green, that belongs to the people.
Yeah.
Back to the people. So they can't, there's not really any law. You can fight it and win it in court.
Is that why they do it then? Because if you go back in history, that actually belongs to the people, so they've got every right. Yeah, so whilst they're on there, they can't touch them. As soon as they step off of it.
Yeah. That's why they're coming into the square and going, right, home. They're scaring them. And as soon as the people step off George Square, that's in they come, heavy-handed. That yesterday again was a wee bit They were no need of that. I mean, it was a fella, he was in Greg's getting a coffee, and he walked out of Greg's, and next thing, boof, they had him in the...
He's actually made a statement about that, hasn't he? There is a video of him actually talking about that and what happened to him, and how it all came about him being outside Greg's. And
you know,
there's always two sides to a story. And
I believe that as well. But rather than do this, why the hell does our First Minister up here, Sturgeon, Ian Livingston, the Chief of Police, the survivors of child abuse, why will they not meet with us and sit at a table and discuss it and work something out, rather than try to separate us and fight with us all? Cause disturbance.
Yes, that makes more sense, because at the end of the day, if you're going out to protest, you're going out for a reason. The reason you're going out is because you've had no joy with the authorities all your life, and you've been fighting the authorities all your life. So you're going out to protest, and they're saying they're banning protest. Well, if they listened to you in the first place, or they put their hands up and started telling the truth, and half of this problem is, you know, there's so many lies being told.
A heck of a lot. I mean, even the MPs up here like each other. I put up a post, I don't know if you've seen it, with Fish Lip Sturgeon.
Yeah.
They reckon she's going to get kicked out. You know, because,
I see that. I see that. And I thought it's hard to believe, because everybody, where I go, everywhere I look, everywhere I see, everybody's saying to me, and I think, well, when I talk to Sandy, she's hated by the Scottish people, but yet everybody else is telling me they love her.
There's a lot of people think the sun shines out her backside.
Yeah.
A lot of folk in Scotland do believe that. And they believe every word she says. The same way they got Govan Hill in Glasgow. Now I've took Sue up. I don't know if I took you up, I can't remember, but I took Sue up to just drove around it, let him see during the day. And they seen it, but at night it's a million times worse up there. I mean, I could go up tonight, I could get a child any age I want, any drug I want, no bother. But you've got to be knowing when you go up to Govan Hill, for the minute you go in to the minute you leave, you're watched by the... I mean, Alec, fantastic guy, he does it all himself, and he goes into Govan Hill and he films it all, and he puts the proof out there. He puts that out there. This guy, he said, ball bearings fired from catapults to him, hit him. Now, you fire a ball bearing out a catapult, if it hits you in the head, it was shot in your head.
Yeah.
Then, also...
I've actually seen, well, not so much with ball bearings, Sandy, but I've seen stones fired with catapults that kill birds.
Oh, yeah.
Good shot, mind. I mean, it's hard to get a 100% accurate shot.
Yeah. You know, but Sturgeon denies all this because it's in her constituency. Oh, it's a myth. Well, we've got the proof. We've got it in writing. We one of the teams, the George Square crew, they contacted her. So did I, but she never got back to me. But young Mandy, they get back to her. She got one of her monkeys to write back and saying this was all a myth and blah, blah, blah. And there were no such thing happening up there. You know,
I'm watching Milo Clive giving his dad tongues and on his back.
But now, Sturgeon, let's carry on with Alex Salmon, you know, the sex abuse thing with him. Yeah. She's denying, I didn't know anything about it. The fucking proof's there, she did. You know, but she's lying about it, trying to wangle herself out, because she knows if she gets involved here, she's going to get kicked out. Now the proof is coming out. She did know Alex Salmon was involved with us.
Yeah, that's come out now.
She's needing her backside kicked right out the door. Get rid of her. She's
whether that was a kind of like private conversation or something that got out of the bag, or the cat was let out of the bag.
Right.
It rings true, because a lot of people suspected it, and the mannerism between the two of them when Alex Salmon was in office, and when she came in, it was too kind of cliquey, the two of them. that it was somebody had somebody on someone. If you look for a better phrase or word.
You know.
I'm just going to say hello to Brian because Brian's
Hi,
joined
Brian.
us. I'm going to say hi, Brian.
Yeah,
How you
right.
doing, mate?
Like I said, with Alex Salmon, wasn't he involved with the Holly Gregg case?
Yeah,
Yes.
he was involved in something like that. He was.
Alex Salmon. Oh, sorry. Alex Salmon, along with Nicola Sturgeon, was involved with that. And Holly Gregg and her mother had to move down south to get away from it. And they were Holly and her mum was sitting in the house one night, and the next thing, the living room window disintegrated. Somebody put a shot through the window.
And then there was the case. And then there was the case with the solicitor, wasn't it, Sandy?
Yeah, because you can go on through the Holly Gregg case to a legend. I mean, that's sort of world. I know you know what I'm talking about here. Was a legend. Was Robert Greene. That man to me was a warrior of warriors. Brilliant. And it was through Robert, it gave me the courage to speak out. It was through Robert that I met, Brian there. He was a legend, this guy. And they banned him out of Scotland because he was fighting for Holly Gregg. They banned the man out.
I remember when he was campaigning, was it up Aberdeen when he was giving the leaflets out?
Aye, he was banned out. He wasn't allowed in Aberdeen. They banned him from Aberdeen. And then it went, you're banned for Scotland.
Sandy, did you see Brian's interview he did with, is it the guy he was doing an interview with the other day, Brian? Kim.
Yeah.
And I was watching bits of it and I thought, I've saved it so I can watch it again another time because I've been pretty busy. I mean, it's bad enough looking after me, let alone looking after the wife as well. And when you're running backwards to forwards for somebody, and her needs with medication are quite a lot. So yeah, it's quite difficult to try and run after somebody.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't mean to be rude.
No, you're all right, Sam.
To sort of we had yesterday in Newcastle. Yeah. Right. What happened is we got off the train. The police were all over the train station. Really, I mean, it's odd that if they put that amount of police on for this one thing that we were gathering,
yeah,
it's odd because of what later I'm going to say, yeah. So we went up in that, and one of the lasses was saying that bit which is entitled to do through freedom of speech.
Was Lee involved?
No, the cornered Lee before he got there.
Oh, bloody hell!
Yeah, and what had happened? And then as she's speaking, the arrestor, yeah. But as I'm walking down, yeah, the same one what arrested Kerry, yeah, was coming for me. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it was the way I can understand that the police have got a duty to do. Of course I can, right? But the fact of the matter is the way that she was so provoking. I mean, this was bad.
Yeah.
You know, she was coming up to me. She was saying, "Oh, you're in a group of three." Against yes. I mean, I wasn't being cheeky against, but now that there's two of you, we're now in a group of five. Oh,
they were doing that in Clapham at the weekend.
Yeah,
coming down very STG were coming down very, very heavy.
Yeah,
TSG, sorry.
And I was saying to her that, and she must have took that as some because she turned around. She goes, "Don't be stupid." Well, it is. There's three of us walking down. There's two of them. It makes five. You know what I mean? And she must have thought I was like being cheeky to her. And then she got on the radio. Yeah, I've got me back walking down. There's a lad next to us, and there's a lass. Yeah, and I thought, right, it's all over. But as I'm walking down, she's getting on the radio. Yeah, and said, "Oh, the lad in the cab, obviously." Yeah, and then she's eased off, and she's left us alone. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter, what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, with the child abuse issues that we're bringing out in the northeast, as everybody is around the country, they're starting to go after the major speakers.
Yeah,
they really are, and obviously, this is going to be the next stage, isn't it? Where the amount of people who are speaking out, not just on child abuse, just on speaking out.
Yeah.
You know,
good point. Very good. Actually, very, very good point. That has actually been brought to the forefront of it now because people have been pulled to one side as if they're organisers and they're putting onus on them as an organiser.
That's what I've always said to people. Don't say that you're an organiser, say that's a group thing, because in the long run it costs the place more money.
Having said that, Brian, there was 2 women that went to the beach the other day and they were walking along the seafront and they got arrested by the police for just walking. Whether they drove to go for a walk along the seafront, but what is the distance that you can actually, if you live rural and you have to drive 2 miles to the shop?
It's their choice. It's their choice. It's not the government's choice whether they can walk along the beach or something. I mean, if they were walking near a nuclear plant or near a bloody US Air Force base, fair enough. You know what I mean? Because you've got to be alert these days, right? But not walking on a bloody beach. And I tell you what, the police have really pissed me off yesterday.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and it's surprising actually, Brian, when you say that. I'm going to have to bring Sue in a minute because I feel a bit guilty. She's not had a chance to speak yet.
That's sorry, Sue.
Go on, Sue. You want to say something, babes?
No, I'm all right. I'm listening.
But
I'm relaxing. I've
Thank
had
you,
a
darling.
terrible night.
But he's another thing. Kim Jobs has just said to me that when he was stopped, that he asked them if there were special forces, and apparently one of the police officers said yes.
Oh my God!
And Kim confirmed that.
Did you see that video that's going about? And it was a fella he was waiting outside the school for his son, and he's got a mask on, and I think it was a head teacher that came out and, hey, what are you doing here? Blah blah. And she called the police, and the police came and was questioning this guy. What are you doing waiting outside the school with a mask on? Now they're telling you to bloody wear masks, and now they're telling you don't wear them outside the school. And another thing, I don't know if this is true or not. I seen a thing on Facebook during the week here, and it's with the police force in the UK. They're going to be doing away with us, and it's that group. Is it G4? It was them that was taking the.
Oh yeah,
Taking the prisoners.
I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be putting in a tender of 290 odd million.
Yeah. It's actually owned by, as far as I'm aware, G4S was actually owned by the Duke of Edinburgh. He passed it on to.
But it's strange how Serco and G4S are involved in most of the stuff.
Well,
and you see the people at.
I think G4S are the biggest security firm in the US. With the spin-offs and that, you know.
But if it is true and this does harm, God, we're in for some time here.
Can I just stop a minute, guys? Jason, are you in the background?
I'm always in the background, you know.
I just see something come up about Kimberly's not doing a show tonight at 9.
Yeah, it's her son's birthday, so
Right,
she's
so
been busy baking cakes and all sorts. So she's going, and she's not been able to get hold of Adele as well. So
have you gone still back to the timing system where we will cut off at 9:45 anyway?
No, I'll turn that off for you. So you've got.
Okay, so if we want to carry on, guys, so you've got as long as you
you've
want.
got 8 hours, Adam. So 8 hours will take you
I
through till
can't
3 in the
talk
morning.
Sandy for 8 hours. You do, right?
Yeah, you got 8 hours. You got an 8-hour limit. So you got till 3 in the
What
morning.
we'll do afterwards, we'll have an open one with anybody can come on, and Sandy and Brian can host it.
Okay.
Sandy,
So,
Brian know most of the guys out there anyway.
Yeah, they may pop on midweek, Alan. May pop on because obviously you've got Jimmy's slot that Jimmy's not doing now because he's not too well. So they may come on and do that midweek or something.
Jimmy bad again.
Yeah.
He had a little,
bit of an episode.
Yeah.
Didn't have a heart attack, but he had an episode, and it's made him realise he's got to slow down. He's got to take.
Didn't you know, Brian?
Easy, you know?
I knew he'd been bad off the last time, and he's sort of easing back because that's.
Yeah, no, he's having.
Well, when we were in Manchester
last
a few weeks back, we went round once, and they wanted to go around again. He said, "I'm not going round twice." So we didn't go round the second time, and he said it gets a bit too much because I think he did. Did he do the Liverpool one after that?
I think he went to Liverpool, yeah.
And I think that's what done it with him. He said he hasn't got it in him to.
He can't, the thing is, he's very passionate, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know.
He can't do a live stream and stay calm because he's not in here. He's not. We all know how Jimmy is. You know, he's a passionate guy about.
He's an honest guy.
And
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, he's a legend.
He's got to keep it calm. You know, he jokingly said to me on the phone. He said, "I'm sorry, Jason. I've got to be a keyboard warrior from now on."
I can't see it happening for too long.
He said to me, "I can't even walk up the stairs, let alone get to a demo." You know,
Hey, without putting a damper on everything, we've just lost another major campaigner. What actually did change
Yeah.
the law, and that was Mickey. You know.
Yeah.
Mickey Summers. You know. That's that, and this is what I'm saying to the next generation. You know, please take notice of these people, because I mean, I'm not being morbid, but at the end of the day, time is a killer, isn't it? It's literally saying that, and we're losing.
How was Jimmy when you phoned him?
It's very true when you talk like that and say things like that. It's the essence.
Yeah, Alan, how was Jimmy when you phoned? I know after I spoke to you last time, you phoned Jimmy and spoke to him. How was he?
He came across as normal Jimmy.
Yeah,
but he was saying, it's not through kind of like he doesn't want to do it. It's the case his body's telling him he's got to do it.
Yeah.
So if that makes sense, he come on. Listen, Jimmy, you can't keep what they call it, a sleeping, or you can't let a sleeping dog lie.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the terminology is for that, he will be back on. And you know what? One night we'll be doing a show, and all of a sudden, Jimmy will just pop in.
He probably will.
And having said that, he probably, I hope he's resting. But I mean, I don't want him just to sort of pop on. But he's got to look after himself. Bless him.
He's doing the right thing.
Yeah, but he's got so much respect out there. He doesn't need the anxiety and stress that goes with it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to mute a minute, guys. I'm just going to do something. You talk amongst yourself for a minute.
Yeah, Sue, you can get a word in.
Yeah. Yeah, not Sandy, I can't. Good. Well, just let you know, I did ring you this morning, Sandy, to let you know I had Harper here.
Oh, shit.
She woke me up at 4:00 this morning and said, Nana, I want to watch a film. I said, and Nana wants you to go back to sleep. So she went back to sleep and she kept waking me up. Nana, we've got to get up. And now her mother's got COVID.
Oh, Christ.
Harper's brilliant. Brilliant.
She hasn't stopped eating.
I had a wee bit of a night last night, so I had a wee long night today. So
lucky you.
I'm back now.
I tell you what, there's only make and run for the bus number 60.
Yeah, you're right. It's late.
No, to be honest, I knocked the crap out myself. What it was is I was running down for the number 60. I wouldn't care that every 5 minutes these buses will wire around down. I haven't a clue. It's icy. Big hole in the wall. Well, it's usual for Sunderland because the council don't fill the holes up. Yeah. So I'm running down trip hour, right hour. So I cut my hand, done my knees in, done my shoulder in. You know what I mean? If I hadn't let go of Milo, he would have been under the car.
Yeah.
You know. Well, they like to say, keep them laughing as you go.
Well, I must admit, if I'd seen you, Brian, I'd have been in stitches.
Well,
I can't help it.
About 3 or 4 of them were, because as I went down, I was amazed I'd done it. It was sort of like a parachute jump. You know, when you hit it, I went like over like that. Well, as I hit my hands on the ground, cut myself in my knees, I went back out and landed on my feet.
Bloody hell.
You know, that's how I've done it till this day.
Good. He fell over on his bum and the council just checking the ground's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said,
what's it like tonight? It's like a geriatrics show, you know. Well, arthritis tonight, you know. I've got to tell you about this. And she's you know.
Well, I haven't fallen, so I'm all right.
Yeah, with the COVID legislation, because it's not law, you know. I think what I'm noticing more and more is obviously the police tactics. If you notice, they're getting heavier and heavier as they're going along. Very heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that what I was told. Because apparently, but I'll tell you, Kim asked a police officer if he was SAA, not if he was Special Forces. And the copper turned around and said yes. Now, whether or not that copper was saying it to wind him up or not, I don't know. You know what I mean? It just seems like up here, Northumbria are targeting Pacific people, and it just so happens to be child abuse survivors. I mean, I couldn't believe that. Well, if she's an officer, or not liaison officer, that's it. It's not really an officer part time or something, yeah. I couldn't believe it the way that she was going on. When she quoted the Human Rights Act, saying that it's not a right. Honestly, it's on video saying that it's not a right. Yeah, and some of what she quoted was wrong. Yeah, so there you go, off Miss Fagan's in a public office, because she's supposed to be representing the police, you know. But it was the way she come up to us. I mean, she come right up to us. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest. I've never actually hit a woman in my life, right? And I never will. But the way she was going on, because I turned, all right, that's right. It's because I was walking down with Alicia, right? And the other lad. And what was it? And I turned around and I said, mind you, any violence by you, just remember I'm epileptic. Because I was expecting them to jump us. I really was expecting them to jump us. Now, at the end of the day, in all the trouble I've been in with the police in the past, they've never ever done that.
There's a lady just joined us, Brian, called Jackie. I don't know if you know Jackie. You don't want to be saying too much, mate, because she might box you back.
Yeah, I know, Jackie.
Hello, Jackie.
Hi, Sue. You all right, love? Hi, Sandy. Hi,
I'm
Brian.
Hi, sweetheart.
She says hello to you, Lodge. Don't say hello to me now.
Hello, Ellen. How are you, darling?
Oh, I'm all right, mate.
Good, good, good.
Well, like I said,
We were talking about the Scottish. What's his name, Sandy? The Commissioner of Police Scotland.
Ian
Livingstone, yeah, and what he's come out with just recently.
What more shit?
Yeah, well, we know that.
What did he come out with, Sandy? Was it about Govan Hill?
He's been going on about that. What annoys me about this guy, right? There's a fantastic woman up here, Stephanie Boner. And
Yes.
Her son was murdered, right? It's some story, this. And all that woman's want is justice. She wants to know where her son was buried. And I've showed her. It's there. And then, no, it wasn't there. It was over there. All she wants to know is where her son was found. So that she can go and pay her respects and stuff. And she's wanting answers to other questions. I mean, Rhys Boner, the way Police Scotland dealt with him was disgusting and shocking. They know who the murderer is, the proof's all there, and this woman's still running about. She was walking up and down by Stephanie's house, and of course the people seen this and they went out and started shouting at her. And the next thing this woman was on the phone to the police. I'm being threatened. With that, there were police cars up to take her to safety. Every morning, this woman, she's in methadone. There are police cars at her door to take her, to get her methadone and take her back home.
She's a police grass.
Pardon?
She's a police grass.
I don't know. I really don't. I can't say yeah or no. I don't know much on her. But
I think she is.
What I do know is this woman, there have been 6 young boys been in her company, and every one of them boys has been found dead with the same stuff in their system. Why? That to me doesn't even...
That's too many connections, isn't it?
Yeah. And this woman, she was seen with Rhys Boner going up this path. Right, she was seen with him all day. Right, she was seen with him all day in different CT.
Wasn't she videoed, Sandy?
Pardon?
Didn't she get videoed?
When she was being beaten up, yeah.
She's been videoed a few times, but this time, you see her walking up the path with Rhys. and this other fella, and the two of them come walking back down, right?
Yeah.
No boner. Now, she was seen, she had Reese Boner's body was found stripped, right? Now, to me, somebody, they can't kill themselves, strip themselves, and fling a pair of trainers up a tree. They can't take home their clothing and wash it and leave it lying somewhere else. This has all happened. Somebody done that. Somebody knows. Now, this woman was seen with Reese Boner's hat on and his trackies, his tracksuit bottoms. She was seen with that. Why has she not been investigated further? Now, she was pulled in and she was questioned. And she told the police Scotland, she goes, no, I don't know Reese Boner. He goes, well, we've got you in video with him. And she turned around and she goes, oh, Reese Boner, the Italian boy. They went, no, he's not Italian. No, I don't know him at all then. And they let her go. Now they've got all the CT. Why would they not question her more? Also,
To me, that means she's been protected.
Aye, then you can come on to a woman called Nora McCluskey. Her son, Johnny Connolly, he was found, his body was found in the Forth and Clyde Canal in Glasgow. And I can't say too much here. I've got to watch what I'm saying because this is similar. But Johnny was murdered, we'll put it that way. There were blood found on the canal, embankments and stuff, right? So you can take what happened. Yeah, but I can't say, but use that and you'll find it. But there were blood found there. His body was found in the canal 2 weeks later. But none of this was used in evidence, nothing. And the body was, oh God. And it just was a wee bit too much that they couldn't get DNA, various stuff off him and stuff. It was just, it's horrific. There's somebody out there knows, they know. And especially this one where Stephanie Boner's son, the police Scotland know, but they're running this woman about the fucking place. And she's allowed to walk about the streets free. I'd be calling her back in. Now, the were a woman grabbed this woman, and as Alan was talking about, started slapping her about the place and going, you murdered a young boy, you know what happened, you know what happened. She goes, I don't know anything, I don't know what happened. So this girl started punching right into this. She's known as Dee Dee. I can't give her full name, but this Dee Dee woman, this woman is punching into this Dee Dee. You know, you murdered a young boy. What did you do him? She goes, and I'm sorry for my language, she goes, I fucking don't know anything. And she kept punching. He goes, he fucking drowned, that's what happened. How did she know that Reese Boner was drowned? How does she know that? And Police Scotland is not doing nothing. Nothing. They're protecting her. They're protecting her. Why are they protecting this woman? Why if she phones up the police, I'm being threatened, they're there within that. We've got kids out in the street tonight in Govan Hill being fucking put out for prostitution. Kids are 6-year-old. And when we complain about that, nothing's done. Nothing. But yet here's a woman is guilty. They know she's guilty of it. But we've got to watch what we say because we can, if she is found guilty of this, then she could use this. Well, they were saying this about me and it's just a conspiracy against me. So we've got to be very careful what we say. But that woman is 100% guilty of murder.
That's just been, I've just come across a post yesterday where they said Sturgeon to resign.
Pardon?
I come across a post yesterday where they said Nicola Sturgeon to resign.
Aye, yeah, I put that on my site tonight there about that.
We said about that earlier, didn't we?
This is about my salmon carry on, I'm innocent, I'm Nicola, with my clickety pen. Arsehole, where women are here.
I think she lost it a long time ago,
Jesus.
I mean,
she must have the press wrapped around her little finger because they make her out to be such a brilliant person.
Using the EU, she's using the EU. Yeah, I mean, I'm not Scottish, so no disrespect to anybody who's Scottish, yeah, but I'm not I mean, she's using the EU to try and get independence and bribe the British
Yeah.
government.
You know, why does Sturgeon go on about we want away from Westminster rule, but yet she wants to be ruled by the EU?
Mhm.
Why? That doesn't make sense.
Scotland wouldn't survive without England substituting it. They
Yeah,
don't pay university fees, they don't pay prescriptions, but we have to.
yeah,
Well, look,
but we
there
budget.
again,
Right,
there
give me,
again, look at the subsidies. Look at the subsidies. What the English government have got on Scotland on the oil.
yeah, but I'll come to that in a minute, Al, but let's go back a wee bit here, right?
Scotland has got a bit of wealth. Give them a bit of credit.
Right, Scotland's hell of a good at budgeting. I'll give them credit where it's due. They're good at that. Let's carry on, mate. Oh, we're paying for it. No, we budget and we do without a lot of things to help others. We get, I don't know about yourselves, but we got all free prescriptions up here, bus passes, university and stuff. We all
No.
get that, but there are other services suffering because of it.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Now, Scotland could have, yes, been a very rich country. No ifs, no buts. The gold that's lying in Scotland, not far from me up in the hills in Greenock,
Yeah.
there are billions. Fuck me, we'd all be millionaires. And this is true.
Yeah.
But that's lying in the reserve. For
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, Sandy. Have they got a lot of? Is it gold reserves as well as oil reserves?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Scotland's a rich country, and people's got to realise this. It is a rich country. But the thing is, it's been sold off. Everything's sold. The oil, it's not ours.
Commerce. Everything comes down to commerce and commercial gain.
Let's carry on the oil short. It's not ours. It's not ours. It's been sold.
Yeah.
You know, the companies in America owns it. You know, so it's bullshit. You know, don't believe it. They say it's find out. You know, I've been there. I've worked with the SNP. I've been in fucking Parliament. I know how they work. You know, I know how they tick. I know it all. I might look a thick bugger, but when it comes to it, I can stand up for my rights and fight for my rights. Yes, I did stand up for the SNP, but I wouldn't do that anymore. And yes, true, Scotland could not manage no more because Scotland's been sold. The same as centuries ago with all these rich landowners. Oh, you're getting shipped abroad, you know.
Is this why Sturgeon is back in the EU?
I couldn't
What would Scotland gain? What would Scotland gain if the EU, if she got independence and went with the EU? What would Nicola Sturgeon gain?
Sturgeon's saying that, well, this will open the market for Scotland to sell stuff and trade with other countries. But what happened before we joined the EU? We were trading with other countries, great. We were trading with them. You know, we didn't need the EU.
Neither did we, but we got taken into it forcefully, Sandy, thanks to Ted Heath in 72, 73.
Well, what I heard, well, it's off the former Solicitor General, I think. I think it might have been Michael Mansfield. He turned no, it wasn't Michael Mansfield. This person wasn't Michael Mansfield. It was somebody who worked within intelligence, and he said that the Berlin government, East Germany, Stasi had enough stuff on Edward Heath to actually force Edward Heath to go into the EU. Obviously, child abuse.
I just wonder how bad this deal is, because if full truth's not come out in this, you know, what are we getting now that we're out of the EU? And how much has Britain got to pay back to the EU?
I think Boris has done a good. I think he's done a good job on the trade agreement, because now he can actually go ahead and. I mean, I don't like Boris anyway, but at the end of the day, I think he's done a good job on the trade agreement, because now we're free to do our trade.
I don't think it is a bribe, because there's talk of it costing this country £24 million every single day for the next 60 years.
I've heard rumours
We
about
didn't ask for a deal though. That's the whole point. We were
Yeah.
asked, do you want to
Yeah,
stay in or do you want to get out? And 17.4 million voted out.
Mhm.
But we landed up with a deal. That wasn't what was asked for.
No.
That's right.
No.
But it's the
Well,
cost
they're
that's
not
involved in it as well,
really-
Brian, because you know he signed up, like Jackie just said, he signed a deal, and in that deal, there's a money involved where we still pay the EU money for a long period of time, where they were talking about 39 million or whatever it was a
Well,
year.
right, the 54 million, that was like the payoff sort of thing. And
Yeah, well,
everything.
we paid. They worked it out that it will cost this country for the deal that he's just signed and come up to that it's going to cost this country £24 million a day for the next 60 years.
See, it won't bother Boris. It won't bother
No,
him.
well, because he won't be there, would he? He won't be there. He would have lined his pockets long and well before that and
Well,
after.
He's due out soon, isn't he? He's due to go soon anyway.
It doesn't bother any of them though, does it? Because
No, it doesn't.
all
Because
there
we were
is
saying this at the
line
top
on
of the
their own
show,
pocket.
Jack. We were saying this just not so long ago. Why do we go out on the streets and protest to get our voices heard for what happened to us as children? And what happened to us as children, the abuse that we all suffered sitting in this
Yeah.
room, right? And we go out on the streets to protest. Now, we're not allowed to protest. But if the fuckers listened to us in the first place, we wouldn't have to go out on the streets and protest.
It's like I said yesterday. At the end of the day, I work with Northumbria Place, a lot of the top officers for 6 years during Operation Rose, not as a copper, but just as a survivor. And at the end of the day, I said to them yesterday, I'm absolutely ashamed of the place and what you've actually stood for. Because at least in my day, certainly the frontline officers actually respected for what I was doing. And I mean, yesterday I wasn't there to speak about the COVID carry on. You know what I mean? I was there to speak about the children and that. And I said to one of the officers, I says, well, you remember Rose? And he goes, oh, that was excellent. That something like that, some comments like that, yeah. And I turned around and I went, well, at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing here. And then now you're threatening to arrest us. You know, not one person. Even if I was the most leftist person in the world, which I'm not, like, yeah. At the end of the day, what I witnessed yesterday was an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
the old bill have lost our respect a long time ago
To be
because
honest,
of what they're doing. And I don't know if you see it. It was on the Facebook, I think it was, a couple of days ago, or it might have been a week ago, where an elderly gentleman, they was dragging him off the streets, and somebody else
92,
was saying,
Jack.
he was 90 something, yeah.
92, yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, leave him alone. What's he done wrong? And it was all because he didn't have a mask on and he wasn't obeying to the COVID laws. Well,
I
it's
think
not
it was
a law.
something to do with was he not outside the Old Bailey with the Assange case?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
because he was didn't have a mask on, he wasn't obeying the COVID law. Well, COVID law ain't law.
you
It's
see,
not voted in. So how the hell?
This is what pisses me off. Every time I see these videos or things, I'll tell you something, if you've noticed, a lot more is getting taken down. We're not seeing so many lives now because they're taking them down as quick as people are putting them up there. If you say certain things, you get taken down or blocked or suspended or going against standards. Well, isn't freedom of speech against our standards and our human rights? Isn't the right to free walking and free protest part of our human rights?
I think we got.
That's it, Brian.
Yeah.
Alan, sorry. Our freedom of speech is gone. Our freedom of liberty is gone.
Yeah.
Our human rights are gone.
Yeah.
All because this draconian arse-white government, which is corrupt to the hilt, and that's not just the Conservatives that are in now, that's the Labour, the Lib Dems, whatever they want to call themselves. They are all as corrupt as shit, and they all take backhanders, so they line their own pockets when they are working for us.
Yeah, that Keir Starmer makes me want to puke.
Yeah, all they're doing is lining their own pockets, making us work longer hours and longer for life, and we still end up poor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you see that thing? That
And they're
was in,
shutting us down, yet the frigging illegals are still coming over on the popsy boats.
Yeah,
Sue said no, said today, didn't you, Sue?
yeah. And they're still not closing the airports. They're still
No.
not closing the tunnel or nothing, and it's still letting them in. Why are they allowed to come this far? Why isn't the Navy out in the sea when they see them, take them back?
I thought the Navy were patrolling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
sorry,
It's control, isn't it?
I think when we left on the 30th, I think it was the 30th, yeah. The Royal Navy were told to patrol the waters and stop anybody coming over.
Yeah.
did you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the thing in
yeah,
the
yeah,
Guardian
probably.
there?
Sorry, Sandy.
Sorry, did you see the thing in the Guardian there? And it's about the police. They're bringing out this new rule that the police, if you're out, say, protesting or you're doing whatever, if they tell you to move,
Yeah.
if you don't move the second time, you get on the spot fined of £200.
Yeah.
The
One
police
warning.
are not
You get
allowed
one
to
warning.
find you.
What they're trying to say to you now, under
This
the
is
new
gonna be-
laws, is you get one strike. One strike and you're out.
You know,
We're becoming more and more like communist China.
Yeah.
That's what England's becoming.
aye, but the UK is becoming like that.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
this,
Like Australia, I mean, Australia is ruled by China.
aye,
I mean, there was Chinese troops in Canada
yeah, because
on the
that
invitation of the French Prime Minister.
China owns near enough of Australia. I'm not telling that, but they do. I've got a sister out there. And what China is doing is they're taking all over this land and they're growing mass and mass amounts of food and they're sending it back home to feed their mob.
Mm.
All these areas that China has bought, and this is true, there were mass fires breaking out last year in Australia.
The water.
All these areas are areas is owned by Chinese, right? They're wanting the land for growing food. Now we're talking about big mass areas of vegetation growing there. And the quickest way to get rid of that is burn it. That's the best way. So is this something connected here? A lot of Australians do believe, and this is true, a lot of Australians believe this is their way. Torch the area, burn it out, that's it clear, we can grow food. You know, the corruption is happening. Folk are laughing, go, that's daft. It's fucking true, you know.
Isn't there something where the Chinese have bought even some parts of the where there's no habitat at all, the desert part side of Australia, parts of that which nobody can do anything with for, like, I don't know what their plans are for the future, but parts of that was not inhabited, and
They bought the line. I think they bought the land in. They bought the land there and then give the money to the land commission. But it's their land, so they can do what they want in the future. They give the land back, but they bought it.
Yeah.
If you think about it, China want world domination like the Musrats do. So it's a fight between them two, who's actually going to do it. But China done the first strike. They've started World War III without lifting up a weapon as regards this COVID bollocks. That's their first against them. And then us, the idiots, are all following after it because we're the sheep that have woke up. We know what's going on. We know what's happening. We know why they're doing it. But it's the idiots that won't believe what's going on, and they still believe the MSN. Oh no, he said it on the 10 o'clock news. You know, oh, well, they said it on the radio. Oh, look what it said in the papers. Yeah, we've got to believe that. When will they wake up and start realising you're being lied to, for fuck's sake? Open your eyes. Listen with your ears what people are telling you. If you don't believe us, do your own research like we do and find out what's going on.
Well,
that's what pisses me off, Al, more than anything.
You could say that about what's in the window in the chat room and that tonight. if you look where Brian comes from, where Sue lives, where I live, where Sandy lives, where Jackie lives, we're all over the country. We're grouped all over the country. It wants people coming in mass, and I'm not talking about little demonstrations here, there, and everywhere. I'm talking about a mass protesting where we get millions, similar to the likes of Brexit, outside Parliament, and even if we have to block Parliament, not on a weekend when there's no one there, but an actual session day.
A weekday. That's what I've said for a long, long time now. Don't get me wrong. It's good what the protests have done because, you know, they've stopped certain things from going on. But it's no good doing it over a weekend.
Yeah.
It's got to be during the week. And then you get people say, oh, yeah, well, I work.
Well, when Parliament's in session.
You can't have one day. Just book it as a holiday. That's all you got to do. And that's
you only need to do it when Parliament's in session. And that's all we're saying. Just do it when Parliament's in session. And, you know, we need the likes of Tommy Robinson and somebody who's going to get people listening.
Yeah.
And then we need people that have got the groups and all that all come together. You know, like we were going to do on the 16th of May, we were at the Sikh Alliance and the bikers, the veterans, and quite a few others, and all the child groups were going to join us. And it's going to be a massive protest. And we were talking about it being one of the biggest protests there was going to be. And we had the backing of Tommy, and you know, when we tried to do things legally and buy the book, we got bloody shit thrown at us, didn't we, Sue?
Yeah, we did.
Don't tell the old Bill when it's going to happen because they're the ones that stop you. And the liaison officers, they need a kick right up the what's it because they're evil bastards. They tell you, oh yeah, you can do this, yeah, you can do that. And they get you all out there and then they'll stand by the police. No, go on, get rid of them. Yeah, get them out, get them out. You know, do whatever you want to do. And throw them on the floor, bash them with the batons. So I wouldn't trust a liaison officer no more than I would a fucking copper.
I saw something, Jack, where there was a woman that she was talking to a police liaison officer. She said, look, I told you on the telephone, and she said, it was me you spoke to, blah, blah, blah. And she had one of them blue high-vis things on as liaison officers. And she was saying to her, and I said, we could go about this a different way without you being out on the street. And I thought, but they never listen.
No.
What's the point of saying things that you're not going to do? It's just like false promises.
It's like dangling that carrot in the donkey's face and then taking it away as he bites it. That's all they're doing. They're not allowing us to do what we have a legal right that we can do, and that's protest. And they don't like it because we're waking up. Although we're waking up more and more people, it's still taking a long time. And we haven't got that time anymore.
No,
it's
that's true.
Going.
And I'll tell you something, little do people know, that time is running out.
It's running out drastically. You know, and we're not talking of a couple of years here. You know, we're not even talking of a year. It's going to be gone. And I, for one, am fed up and pissed off with seeing people saying, yeah, well, we'll do this, yeah, and we'll do that. You're all talk, no action.
Yeah.
Start together then. Start doing it. If that's what you're going to say you're going to keep doing, then do it. Don't just talk about it. You know, it's all word of mouth. You know, you know people, Sandy knows people, Sue knows people, I know people, and it's all word of mouth. You ain't got to use the internet, you ain't got to use a phone, just word of mouth. And that's what gets it round, and before you know it, you've got hundreds and hundreds by the side of you that are all thinking exactly the same.
But the police got clever, Jackie, because what they did was they brought these liaison officers out so that you could talk to them. And all they would do is running back to their bosses, so they were loving it because they were telling that they were getting told everything was going on. The Clapham protest was they told them they were going to do the Clapham protest, and what happened? The TSG were there outnumbering the protesters.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
The thing as well is we're hearing, Jesus Christ, you put on the news now and it's coronavirus. This is getting drummed into us every minute of the day. And I don't know about down there, but up here in Scotland, we're getting, it's up, it's increasing. What was it the other day, Sturgeon comes out with? There were 200,000 overnight died with coronavirus, right? Again, died. And every day in Scotland, it's increasing. We're not going down, we're going up. According to
Yes, so that's
Right.
2,000 died. What about him?
all these people, it's dying. Why do we not see rows upon rows of hearses waiting to get into crematoriums, waiting to get in? Somebody goes, but what they're doing is they've got these big warehouses and they're storing the bodies. Fucking wake up, we've got all these fucking dead bodies, in these warehouses,
Yeah, but whatever you say, whatever you do, they come out with some different answer. So, okay, so we had coronavirus come out 12 months ago, whatever it was, right? Then we've had subsequently different strains of it. So what happens when February comes along? Are we going to get another strain? Are they going to turn around and say, oh no, we're going to extend it a little bit longer because there's a new strain that's come out? They could play that fucking game forever.
Yeah.
Well, this is flu and pneumonia season. Where are those deaths? Where are all the homeless people that have died because of this? Because they haven't been able to lock down and shut down and just go and stay there. They've had to stay outside. Where's all the coppers that are supposedly have died? Because they're on the front line. It's only just recently, in the last couple of weeks, that they've started wearing masks things, their silly nappies. So before that, where were all their deaths? And it doesn't matter whether you die, when you die, they put COVID-19 on your death certificate.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And I
wrong.
think it's called, Jackie, it's a lot of mass suicides because I think suicides at the moment are going through the roof. But you can't put suicide down to COVID, can you?
Yeah. They're putting it down on everything, Al. I have a school friend whose mum passed away from sepsis, and they put on her death certificate COVID-19. Now, he's contending that, and I don't blame him. And if he needs any help, he knows there's all of us going to be behind him.
So did Amanda Smith's. Her mum died of a heart attack, didn't she? And they put it on her mum's death certificate.
It's disgusting. There's no more autopsies taking place, whereas beforehand, no matter whether you and Dad, like we knew my dad died of cancer, but he still had to have an autopsy. But they don't now. They've stopped it because an autopsy is going to prove no, he didn't have fucking COVID. They died at so-and-so, so-and-so. So they've stopped all autopsies taking place. So you, for instance, or me, if I had a partner and I was pissed off at them, I could go down and get some arsenic, like keep palming them up with that, and they couple over. You're not going to get caught for murder, are you? So think about it.
I think they should.
It's all there.
Just before we come on tonight, Charles Spencer was on talking and he came out with a cracker and it was brilliant. Right? This vaccine we're all getting. Right? Now, any vaccine that we get, no matter what it is, if something goes wrong, we can sue because that's wrong. But this COVID fucking carry on. There's a clause in it that if this goes wrong and we wake up, we get the vaccine tonight, we wake up 2 days later with 3 heads and 42 arms and stuff, we can't sue.
Yeah, they've taken liability out of it. Why?
Why?
Yep.
We're being used as medical experiments.
Hang on, Brian. Right, hang on.
We are.
Sandy, hang on a minute. Let me just get Brian back. Brian, there's a couple of times I can't hear you. So I don't know what you've done to your sound, but there's a couple of times I can't hear you. Go on, say what you're saying, Brian.
It's because we're being used as medical experiments.
Yeah.
And
if you don't want to use experiments, stop using it on the animals. Start using it on paedophiles. They've got no rights. They've got no human rights whatsoever. The moment they touch a child, that's it. Their human rights are gone.
Yep, and the terrorists.
Yep. Start doing the guinea pigging bit on those.
Yeah.
And stop abusing animals.
But we're so topsy-turvy at the moment. We're topsy-turvy with Black Lives Matter, with all the ethnic minorities and things like that, and how we've got to abide by the rules, and yet you've got policemen going down on one knee, and yet when there's a white protest, they're getting them battered over the head with a truncheon. I mean,
look what's happening in the US. You know what I mean? I personally believe, after following the US politics for nearly 4 or 5 years, yeah, I personally believe that there is going to be civil war. It's just waiting for it, yeah. And what happens in the US will trigger the rest of the world.
We're talking there, right, about us down in one knee for Black Lives Matter. Now, all life matters.
Yeah.
And if this Black Lives Matters, they're going on, oh, my great-grandfather was a slave. There were more children taken from the UK, shipped off to far-off lands, even in Africa. They were even shipped off to bloody Africa to be slaves there.
Well, part of the Operation Brockhurst, what happened for the
slave owners, but they forget to mention that. They just put it all down to being, oh, the white people were slave owners. No, black people were slave owners as
they
well.
were, yeah.
So, but that don't matter. No,
And
forget
that
about
was
that. We're
in the
white,
Deep
one
South
out.
as well.
Yeah, you know, so
With Black Lives Matter, there's nothing equal about them.
No.
no, there isn't. And what they've done they put races back like 40 years because there wasn't any racism or whatever. Because I've got coloured family, you know, and I don't treat them any differently to my white family.
Well, Jackie, when we were at Beechholme, there was all sorts of it was like a League of Nations. There was all sorts. We were brought up with Chinese kids, black kids, Indian, Asian kids, you name it. We was brought up with all of them. And when Operation Brockhurst was launched for the police to go and investigate the child abuse, what happened in Beechholme, or later investigations, right? They went all over the world. They went to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, everywhere, because kids were shipped out. They were even shipped out from Beechholme. And you look at the Welsh kids when they were in the mines and stuff like that. They were shipped out.
Yeah.
So it's not just a black thing.
No, that's what they use as their excuse.
Yeah, everything's
Every time
racist.
something occurs, it's always, oh, you're racist.
Play the race card.
No, I don't think so.
One of the
I couldn't give a shit whether you're green, got purple spots. I couldn't give a shit.
Yep.
But if you want to get respect, then you give respect.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk to people in a contemptible way and be downright rude, you're going to get it back.
Well, if you say the word Muslim now, you're being a racist, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've got to say the word, like Tommy Robinson now. Anytime he says it, he was talking about the grooming gangs in Manchester 10 years ago. Right? And what happens now, it's still going on to this very, very day where you're getting white young children being taken off the streets of this country to this very, very day. And predominantly it's by Asian groups.
Yep.
Right? But if you turn around and say Muslim, you're the racist.
Yeah. We're the racist in everything.
Yeah. But don't you find it right strange though? They use that as the card against us. What card have we got?
Yeah.
We haven't got the opportunity to say, well, no, you're racist because you're racist towards me. You're the one who's got the chip on your shoulder because you've got a different colour skin than what I have. I don't give a fuck what colour skin you've got. But if you treat me with respect, I'll give it back to you.
I think we are in ourselves. So if they use the racist card, then we could use the discrimination card, because they're discriminating on us because ethnically we're white, not ethnically black.
Yeah. And where does it all stem from? Their parents.
Yeah.
And where did it stem from them? Their parents. Whereas, how funny it is, it always used to be the Germans because they bombed our chip shops, you know, Stan Baldwin and his laugh. So it was always hatred towards the Germans.
Yeah.
But that's all gone because it's in the past. I wasn't around when World War I and World War II was here. I wasn't around when there was slavery. You know, I'm here now.
But it's gone stupid because you can't have a gollywog anymore. You can't have Robinson on the back of a jam jar, you know. We used to take the piss and say, what shift you on to a white person? What shift are you on? And they'd say a different shift and say, oh, you're on jam jar duty.
Yeah.
You know, and take the piss out of them on the... it's just fucking ridiculous.
All the programmes that used to be on TV, like Love Thy Neighbour. No, I love that.
Yeah,
that
so
was hilarious. Mind your language. With college,
I've gone it.
Alf Garnett with Till Death Do Us Part with
Yeah.
Dandy Nichols. What a now! Could you imagine it now today? I know he's
Yeah,
passed not long ago,
That's what I
3
thought.
or 4 years ago. But if Alf Garnett was still on the TV, they would have whacked him clean off the board. Yet that bloke who was on, I don't know, was it X Factor or Britain Got Talent? He fucking won it, and yet he was a racist bastard.
Yeah.
But if you or I had got up there and done what he done, we would have been called racist. But he was, yeah, brilliant. He won it. Talk about fucking two-faced bastards or what?
Well, even the kids at school
Old
can't sing
Jack says
Bar
how
Bar
it is,
Black
doesn't she?
Sheep. They have to sing Bar Bar White Sheep now, not Bar Bar Black Sheep.
Like I say, I'm under attack by you know the organisation TWAFA, Thailand
No.
Anti-Fascist Association.
Yeah.
No, I've not heard it.
Now, at the end of the day, that's what they are, the anti-fascists. You know, they don't like fascists, right? But they're accusing me of being far right. You know what I mean?
Good God.
But don't they say that this country
I'm saying I don't understand why they're saying that. You know what I mean? But I found out later on that's because one of their members, an ex-councillor, Tommy Wright, used to work for them. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying, and this is what I was saying a while back in an interview with the unions. The unions actually backing paedophiles.
Yeah.
You know, say if it was an ordinary worker in the workshop doing the stuff, or say it was a manager who was a paedophile member, yeah, they would protect that manager. You know? Oh, sorry, I killed the conversation. Sorry.
No. Well, because you can look at the unions and go back to many moons before Thatcher destroyed them, in actual fact. And there were things that the union were brought in. Some were good, but some people might turn around and say the union's got too much power.
That's what certainly is with Sunderland City Council. They've got too many links in the corruption, and then back to Northumbria.
Well, Maggie Thatcher destroyed it through the miners, didn't she? All the unions seemed to collapse after the miners because you lost the Leyland workers, the trucks, and all that close. So you had the Leyland workers. They were a powerful union. All your railways were sold off. So you had your ASLEF drivers that used to walk out on strike and so on and so forth, and your miners and everything else. You had some really, really strong unions. But now it's all gone. The biggest union you've probably got now is Unison, but Unison won't do anything.
Yeah, well, Unison, I've had a lot of trouble with them in the years. I was a Unison member. I was a shop steward. You know what I mean, in the northeast. But like I said, the names what's coming out through Sunderland for Transparency. The names what are coming out, the names that I recognise of you.
But the unions themselves, like Unison, will turn around and they'll be all pro racist this and racist that and so on and so forth. But it gets to the stage in the degree where you're going too one-sided. Then you're leaving yourself behind, and you're to be genuine to a third party. You're being disingenuous to your own creed.
Well, the unions are going instead of, in my opinion, instead of the unions being equal. Once again, I feel as though the unions are turning to the left very much so. They're very much going to the left, you know. The old Labour ways have gone. You know what I mean? It was Blair what destroyed that, as far as I was concerned. You know what I mean?
Then again, if you think about that, Bri,
Yeah.
Conservative were always the posh ones.
Yeah.
You know, that was who the Conservatives were.
Well, in the
The
80s,
Labour Party was always for us, the working class man or the working class woman.
you'll be on about the days.
Why you want to look at it? But now, even Labour ain't for us.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the party of opposition, and all they do is side with the Tories, which is a farce. What is the point of being an opposition government? And why are we paying these people so much money if you're not going to oppose existing government and rules and regulations? And let's not forget this, the legislation that this government is claiming to be law.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Boris change the laws last week?
Yeah, he's doing it under Emergency Powers Act.
Well, this
See,
is
acts and statutes don't mean fuck all. They don't mean nothing.
With the Emergency Powers Act, I think this is why the police are doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm aware, even though the police are liable just as much as we are, right, as the public, at the same time, they're going in kicking people that, I'll be honest, they're kicking people to shit. You know what I mean? And you know when you see it on the newsreels and that, and everybody thinks like, oh, the cameras, it's the angle of the camera, it's anybody could fiddle that. You know what I mean? If they think that, they're seriously on a different planet. It's actually happening. I witnessed it.
Well, you can turn around and say the same in the same sense. Okay, Boris Johnson's got a key for a nuclear button. He could turn that key at any time he wanted. He can't just do that. You know, you can't just make up it as you go along. You've got this. What's the House of Lords for? And what is the House of Lords made up of? It's made up of judges, peers, and people that are the legal profession. And you're supposed to go to them. It's 650 people in the Parliament, and you're supposed to talk to them.
Get rid of the House of Lords, because all they are is a fucking parasite lot.
Yeah.
And
they ponce on and ponce on and ponce on. They get £300 odd per day for each time they go and sit in the House. Why would you want to go to work or get another job when you can get £300 odd a day just to sit there and pick your nose?
And
they need to get rid of them.
And the move to the Lord by government anyway.
Yeah.
But then I've got to say, with this one who's just gone out, the speaker in the what's it, normally they get a peerage, don't they? Well, they put a block on him getting a peerage because of how he worked when he was in the
birth code.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, because at least that's shown a certain amount. You know, right? Well, if you can't be, you know, you've got to be an unbiased person to stand there and just listen. That's all he's got to do. And if it gets a bit rowdy, you know, you say, up, hold up the left, you know, we're quieting things down here. But he wasn't. He was saying his own opinions. And you can't do that. That's not what that job description is.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so they stopped him from getting, I don't know whether he was going to be Lord someone or peer someone. They've stopped him from getting that. Fucking right and all. Now the next thing to do is get rid of the lot of them, because they're not worth anything. They don't work for us. They're not working in our conjunction with us at all. They're working against us, and they're giving themselves bigger and bigger and bigger pay packets while we become
and that's the ironic thing, Jackie, because they are supposed to be representatives of the people, for fuck's sake.
And they're not. They haven't been for decades, Al.
You're right, Jackie. It's because they're owned. They're owned, you know what I mean? It's like once you get to become an MP or even a councillor. It's like once you become an MP or even a councillor, you ultimately you're working for whichever.
If you go on the council, you get told what to fucking say and what to do anyway. There's always going to be someone there to tell you what to do, what to say. It's
like I say, Alan. I mean, well, I've stood for local election twice. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest. I didn't do it to get anywhere. That was not my aim. You know what I mean? My aim was to let the local council know that I'm still here, and the idea was Silsworth Ward was one of my old enemies anyway to do with Operation Rose. It's just to put the pressure on them. Nothing nasty, nothing violent, just to let them know I'm still there and I will not go away. Not just Sunderland, but the whole of the UK, Europe, the world. You know what I mean? It's like Jackie says, nobody has, I mean, I'm not preaching to you, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, nobody has the right to hurt a child every single way, form or shape. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't believe in punishing a child under any circumstances.
Where's Pretty Patel? Why isn't she dealing with the illegals? Why
she's encouraging it?
Yeah. Why ain't Khan gone? You know, all this crime rate's gone up, but he doesn't think it has. It's quite all right. You know, and we're allowing that.
What is he? What is Khan?
A fucking Lord Mayor of what?
No, he is an M, the same as that lot we're trying to get rid of. That's the reason why he won't go against them, because he's going against his own kind.
Yeah,
well, it was Khan's family. It was Khan's family who were done for how to get foreigners into the country. They actually got done where something to do with passports. That's the truth. That it was Khan's family what was involved with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a horrible, snidey,
Yeah.
horrible
Well, he
bastard.
shouldn't even be speaking. He is the ex-mayor. His term in office ended in May last year.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was his 4 years were up. So he shouldn't even still be talking. And Boris, as thick as he is and a fucking plank that he is, he should have said to him, no, Khan, like, you can't talk. You know, if you want to sit in that office, that's fine. But you will not be able to talk as the Mayor of London anymore because your office has ended.
Mm.
But who is he to say, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that? He's just the Mayor of London to oversee London. But he's the one that sets the police out on the frigging yellow vestas each week who were nothing but peaceful.
Mm.
They didn't start any riots. They didn't start any fights. They didn't shout out abuse to other groups.
Within
It
the
was
city,
other people doing it to them.
Well, when we've done any of our demonstrations, it's always been peaceful. We don't go out there to incite any hatred or any problems at all. What we are asking for is someone to listen to the Beechholme survivors. Sandy and Brian do exactly the same, Jackie. They did talk about Witherwack, Quarriers, and likewise we do Beechholme. So where is our hate speech in any of that?
There isn't. But that's what they don't like. They don't like for other people to see that you're peaceful. Your Antifa, BLM, and the MRATs, they get away with it.
Yeah.
The police run from them, and you see the police running like fuck to get away from them.
Wasn't it the Antifa leader in America got done for serious paedophilia?
Yeah.
Well,
That's not Joey.
it just gets me that people just still, after seeing all this going on, people still sit back and think, oh no, they're telling the truth. How the fuck can they still think like that? That's what gets me.
Society's gone back in time, as far as I'm concerned. It's gone back to the
I said-
1930s Germany.
Well,
People
yeah.
need to get their fucking heads out their asses and look
Yep.
at reality.
Yeah.
That's what
It's
they
all
need.
right, you know, it don't bother me because it hasn't happened to me, so I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
it. You know, let them think about it. But you watch, God forbid, would anything of what we've been talking about happen to other people's families, they'll be the first ones up screaming, I need your help because it's now happened to me.
Yeah.
Well, no, why didn't you think about that when other people were doing it? Because they're not just doing it for themselves, they're doing it for everybody. They want to highlight what's going on and what's going wrong to everybody. But you didn't want to know. You wasn't interested. But now it's happened to you. You want to stand at the shout at the rooftops.
Yeah.
Well,
Did anybody see something's happened in Surrey today where there's been something like a reaction to the vaccination, and there's a big story about it in Surrey or something. There's a place in Surrey where there was an air ambulance line and they put emergency powers in or done something called an emergency or done something to something happening in Surrey where people are getting allergic reactions to some sort of vaccine.
No, not seen or heard anything.
Jean's husband had it yesterday.
Oh,
So
wow.
we'll see.
Well, the Queen's supposed to have had it, and
Yeah,
Yeah, she probably had a
Mickey
swig
Mouse has
of
had it as
water.
well,
yeah.
and Donald Duck.
Yeah.
You know what I come across? Where somebody had actually tested a banana, a pool of bloody water, yeah, and it come back positive.
Yeah.
I've heard the same with Coca-Cola. People have done Coca-Cola, sent a test back. Some bloke sent a test back without even freaking opening it, and it came back
Yeah.
positive.
But how do we know they're not putting things on the end of them?
Well, you know in the queues, when they're testing everybody, that in itself, the way the testing actually opens up the test for positivity of an infection, because it's every 30 tests have got to be done in a sterile environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's more than 30, that's classed as contamination.
yeah, and I think here as well, you see these fucking things in television, like here's old George here and he's getting a fucking injection. Now, when we go for an injection, doctors, nurses, no matter who, the first thing they do is rubber gloves. Right? That's the first thing they do, rubber gloves. You watch the adverts that's coming on and watch the nurses, doctors that's getting these injections. They don't wear them. Plus, when you get a jag, it's just usually like bump, jag out. But when you see them, they've got that hand covering up and then so that you can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was also the one where the needle.
I'm sorry for my language here, but why? This is so far-fetched. Now, we go up to that George Square, we never wear masks. We've been doing this for months upon months. Not one of us has caught that coronavirus. Not one of us. There were a care home in Paisley in Lincolnshire, Scotland. They went in the other week there. No sign of coronavirus, and injected all the nurses, well, all the staff get injected, plus the residents, and every one of the elderly people now has got this coronavirus.
Yeah, because there was something about Scotland where the staff and the patients took the vaccine. 19 days later, they all got COVID, and they said, then they came out with some stupid remark like they fucking do. Well, you got to allow 14 days, but they don't fucking tell you that before.
Yeah.
Where did the 14 days? Even if the 14 days, you've got to allow 14 days, it was nearly 3 fucking weeks after they had the injection that they called COVID.
And why have you got to have a booster? Why do you have it and then 3 months after you got to have another one?
Yeah.
I don't know of any other injection with that.
That's the Pfizer one. With the Oxford one, you don't, do you?
I don't know. All I know is as a baby, they have their injections to inoculate, against mumps, measles, rubella, smallpox and all that type of stuff, diphtheria. And then just before they go to school, they get a booster of all of them together. And that gives them their protection up until they're about 11, 12, and then they go for the, I don't know, they might not do it now, the BCG one.
Yeah, we had that in Beechholme.
Yeah, but you don't have that once, and then go back 3 months later and have another one of it. And they lasted for years and years and years before they became, okay, they're safe. Yet this one ain't been tested 6 fucking months, and it's got the go ahead, you can give it, and they've got liability taken out of it. That should be billowing up.
What did AIDS take? 18 years?
Sorry?
AIDS took 18 years, and they still, to this day, they said they've got a cure for cancer, but because of the expense of it, they're saying there isn't a cure for cancer because there is no, because of the expense of it, they're saying they actually haven't found a cure for cancer yet. Any fucking excuse.
Yeah, but they're getting money out of people
cure for cancer.
to bloody donate for it, aren't they?
But they won't, it's government. And the pharmaceuticals, they won't allow us to see that cure because it books them out of their business. If you're curing people, you're not getting no money coming in, are you? For having to give them drugs, give them drugs, give them drugs. It's just same as tyres. Sorry?
A good point was that in 1 week, I heard that in excess of £500 million was supposed to have been saved on the amount of deaths through COVID in 1 week, not only in pension payouts, but NHS prescriptions, repeat prescriptions, and so on. That was 1 week, and that was just a single figure, 500. We're not talking about weeks, months, almost a year, but how many people who've died of COVID, of older age, infirm, and suffer with underlying illnesses, have died through catching a virus that has been too strong to them, like pneumonia, which it masks itself as, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And flu can cause pneumonia.
Yeah.
But I've been saying this for months and months, right? If this fucking virus is brilliant and it works, why are we not saving the young? Why is it that they're going 90-year-old and over and then bringing it down and down? Why are they doing that?
Yeah,
because our age group, we don't fight things as good as what the younger ones do.
As you're saying, most of us here and who's retired, and we're taking pension money out of the scheme. We've paid into that, but we're taking that money. You think if they can bump off a few 100,000, how much they're saving or not? They're going
I
to be.
just made that point, didn't I? 500 million in 1 week.
What you were saying there, you know, so is this a way to get rid of the fucking elderly?
Yes, it is.
You
It's
know,
to do with depopulation, and it's the only way they could find credible to do it.
you
And
know,
they're doing it now with this stupid vaccine that isn't going to work. It's not going to cure you of it. It's going to kill you. It will change your DNA. You know, and how much more do the idiots need to know about this before they will start saying, no, hold on a minute, I'm not doing this anymore. It's all about fear and control.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the government have done. They are setting us up against each other.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how many people I've fallen out with now over this. And I've said,
Yeah.
well, you've got your opinion and I've got my opinion. If you can't be adult enough to say, I don't agree with your opinion, so what we're going to have to do is agree to disagree and you don't talk about it. Fine. Suits me down to the ground. But when they keep going on and on and on and on, and I don't, and then I said, nah, fuck it. See you later, bollocks, you're off. I can't be doing with all this crap no more.
You want to come in, Sue?
Yeah, I mean, not this Christmas, Christmas before, Christmas Day, I became really ill. I left it until Sunday after Christmas and I couldn't take it no more. So I made an appointment at the Station Plaza in Hastings. Yeah, I got there. The doctor put me straight on oxygen, called for an ambulance. I got to the Conquest Hospital. They did some tests and they brought me a mask round. Right. One of the tests didn't come back. So they said I had to go home and then ring me tomorrow. They gave me 2 lots of antibiotics. Monday morning, they phoned me and said, you've got a strain of flu. Now, for flu, you don't get antibiotics. And they also told me I had to isolate for 14 days. You don't isolate for flu.
No, of course you don't.
And I've got underlying health issues. And yet, I came out of it. You know, the cough did last a long time. And it did, but, you know, we can fight it with our own immunity.
Yeah, that's what this GMAF is, isn't it? We've got our own antibodies that will cure cancer, but they won't let us do anything with it. Hence the reason why the guy in here and the woman over in France, they put her in prison to shut her up.
Yeah.
What they're doing with all of us. All the whistleblowers, you think about it, are all being taken off the streets and hidden.
Yeah.
In a fashion, although they're not hidden, they're in prison because they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Well, you could come back, Jackie, to what you Sandy was saying earlier on about the body, the child's body. They said they could take them to where the child's body was buried or whatever the case was. But Melanie Shaw said exactly the same about Beechwood. She said she knows where children's bodies are buried at Beechwood, and she could have took them to the place where them berries were bodied, but they took no notice of her or anything. And it's just disgraceful how, like we say, we go out there and protest, and now we're getting shut down right, left, and centre. Instead of us listening to us in the first fucking place, a lot of these problems might have been cured.
Yeah, they don't want to listen to us because they know what we're saying is the truth and what they're sprouting is bollocks.
Yeah.
So shut us up, keep us indoors, you know, and away from everybody else. Why do you think they stopped smoking in pubs? Because the majority of people who went in pubs smoked. They closed down community centres for the kids to keep the kids from being, you know, socialising and hearing, oh, my mum said, you know, or my dad said, oh, well, we do this. What do you hear about anybody anymore? Jack shit.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, today my granddaughter was tested for COVID. She come back positive. Now she has got a very, very low immune system, JC, and anything going, she will get it. We'll see how she goes with this. We'll see.
We've got to turn around and say, though, at the end of the day, we're not disbelievers. We're not saying there is nothing out there, because at the beginning of the year, last January, when Sue said she was ill, I don't know whether you know, it's linked to anything, but Kathy ended up getting double pneumonia, and I had the worst flu that I've had in many a year, and I was poorly I just couldn't get rid of it it seemed to last for about 8 weeks. A good 2 months I had it, and I was really ill, and
Yeah.
high temperature, headaches, cough, nasty cough, and Kathy ended up getting double pneumonia because of it. But I said to her, Kathy, if that had been 2 months later, not January, but March or April, they would have diagnosed her as having COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But
There's a comment in the room.
At the end of the day, we think they've blown it out of all proportion. And it's got so many people believing in them. And I can't believe the amount of people that are believing.
Yeah. There's a comment that's been put up by MC. I seen a post earlier. They are thinking of giving people a mix of all 3 vaccines. That's not going to end well.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it won't.
Well, I ain't having it.
No, I'm not having any of it. Yeah. See, again, people are not looking further into this.
No.
It's already been said that they want to depopulise. We've become too many of us. But then if you think about it, we, as the indigenous in this country, are roughly 2.4 children is what we have nowadays. You know, I'm not going back to like when my parents were little, and there was like 8, 9, 10, 12, 14 of them. But today, it's roughly 2.4 children.
Yeah. Well,
But
you've
that's
got big
us.
families too, haven't you?
It's not.
Pig family's a big family.
Yeah, one of my brothers has got 10 kids, the other 2 have got 6 each.
Well, yeah, you know, there's a lot. But on the whole, people of nowadays, it's like 2, you might get 3 kids. It's not us that overpopulating.
No.
It's
why
others that are doing it.
Yeah, if they want to depopulate, not being nasty, why not go out to the countries where the children are dying, where we've helped them so many times? You know, and you're always getting adverts, remember, like Biafrans.
Yeah.
And all that. Why are they still having all these children? Why?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's got to be stopped. And yet they're picking on us. Well, you know, it is a farce. A big farce.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. Brian's just dropped off because he says he's knackered.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him. No, Brian.
Oh, did you see on Facebook they had this thing about COVID that wash your hands, whatever, but and they even had it, wear your mask at home.
No.
Sit in their fucking houses with masks on. You know.
Good God. Well, I've seen people in their cars, and there's only one of them in their car, and they've got a mask on.
Yeah.
Are you fucking for real? Why are you wearing a mask when you sat in your own car and you're on your own?
Exactly.
Oh.
You know, it's pathetic.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But just going off the subject, just a second. Al, I sent Sue some pictures.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
And she come back, oh, my God.
I said to you, didn't I, Sue? She looked like she got hit by a fucking bus.
I know. Oh.
I was taking the piss out of her, and I was taking the piss out of her, and I was saying to her, "Did you get the number of the bus?" And Linda's going to join us, so we're seeing what Linda's going to say.
Jackie, you need a break. You're saying what I'm saying. I've got a real good old-fashioned cold, but I've been roaming around YouTube. We need to have a good old-fashioned cold because we've always lived with viruses. Viruses are not designed to kill us.
Our own immune
They die. Stay with it, Jackie. I'm giving you your voice a rest.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm agreeing with you. She's saying what I want to say. I love you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just come on. I'm sat here having a cold. I've not been bloody nowhere. I don't need Boris to tell me to lock down and this, that, and the other. I've had problems because I usually, because I'm 68, stack up right good emergency rations. And I couldn't get out last week from emergency rations because I got a friend who I talked to Sunday night. I come round Thursday. I says, I know. I says, I'll have some right manky fucking meals. You want to see what I'm, but I know my immune system is tip top in shape. Every time I've been going in chemist up road, now, Jackie, listen, on my medical records, 20 years ago, I got virus 1. Back then, they were talking about, because it was not illegal to have whatever I've got, MS, ME, and I had to fucking, right, look, I've always had a job. I know it's wrong now that I was a working mother since 1970. Best part of that was part-time because they wanted me back, and where I lived, they organised it. I've had a good life, and I've had bad times and good times. And I'm with you all. I'm with the...
Thank you, Linda. Let me just bring in somebody else for a minute, Linda. So, right, I'm going to go off in a second.
Yeah,
I'm going to leave you guys to it, and Jackie's still here, aren't you, Jack?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'll be going off.
I've muted Linda for a second, so I can get to say 2 words. And so you carry on, guys, and enjoy the rest of the show, and have a very nice evening. And I love you all.
Love you too, but I've got to phone Jim at 9 o'clock.
See you later.
See you later. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, all.
See you later.
Bye. I ain't gone anywhere yet.
You what, sorry?
He's saying goodbye to me. I ain't gone anywhere yet.
No, I'm just...
So
yeah.
You know me, so...
Yeah, I know you, Linda.
I walked with you in Nottingham.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you were pissed off because I got in security car with Jean. And they went...
Yeah, I know. I had to bleed and walk.
I know!
That's where I met Lissy. She gave me her scooter to ride.
Right, oh, I were in with... But the reason you couldn't come in that security car, we had this big fat bastard. I think he was a stooge. And I've seen him walking up down for station with the people. All of a sudden, when me and Jean were parked up outside Nottingham Theatre, he started telling me in back seat that he was diabetic. I said, hang on, where's your stuff? He's telling me, please took it off him. I'm trying to stop Jean and Scottish guy, hang on. And whatever happened, he went out. I said, you better go down to, there were 3 security cars and we were stopped on purpose because the bikers come round to wait, and Jean was going, and the bloke said they've come to acknowledge you, Jean. Well, anyway, this fucking fat bastard, well, that's why you couldn't get in security car. I think he was huge. Anyway, he got out. I said, shut up. He's having a doings. He's supposed to, he says, I've got 1,000. This, that, and it was from... But anyway, they all left him wandering off. it will have. We have to be careful who zooms in. You know, I was always tight because I heard about John Wedger's 16th of May this time last year. I'll get myself sorted. I'll get myself down London for that.
That was
Anyway,
our demo. That weren't John's.
right, I'd
That was
seen it,
Beechholme.
but I went to Manchester with a friend who I met. Now, I was in Hyde Park the end of September, camping.
Bloody hell.
I tell you what, my age, you had to be camping in Hyde Park back in September, Operation Zulu. And I had the t-shirt bought for months before. I'm getting in there. I turned up, I got in with a bloke with a trailer tent. And it was fabulous. And I clocked up. They took notice of what we were doing.
I can't camp.
Quickly, I'm going to go offline now. But it was brilliant talking to you all, and I'll catch up with you all
And
later.
you, Jack. I'll speak to you later.
All right, darling. Take care. Good night.
Take care, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I met people down on Hyde Park, and this bloke, I met him, we meet people. So obviously, you remember me, you're going, fuck me, she got me fucking security guard, there weren't no room for me. Anyway, he come up, he phoned me up from Cornwall. I put down first, I got a Long Good Friday t-shirt to go for Long Good Friday. But this is the 14th of March. Right, we've got in touch. I live up, but there's a demo in Manchester, 14th of March. Can I come up and stop at your place? No problem. It was just around. I got a disabled train pass. Shall we go on train or in your car? Because the thing is, we've got the basket. Nobody's fucking paying us. Right. So, he didn't know what Northern England were like. I mean, I'm up in South Yorkshire. My son, I'm with the vets, because my son, he'd come out the womb being a fucking soldier. So I weren't surprised. He went to be a paratrooper at 17. Hey up, Mum. I know you can look after you. Fuck me, buddy. Anyway, so I was for the vets. Well, put it this way. The vets go, and when we were at Hyde Park and we were talking on the Sunday night, we were enjoying this coming out demonstration. There's a load of us. We've got time and money to do it. What we're going to do if we stop these fucking whatever we're coming out with, Soldier A to Z, let's go and join the abused children. Right. So after that, you lot have got the vets behind you. As you know, when you turned up in Nottingham, it takes time for things to filter through. Right, so I'm going, so we're out at Common Market. Right, it doesn't matter. We've got fuck all, but we know how to live. We can live off fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Right, we don't need a lot when brain clicks in. They don't need, some people need time off work because it's locked time. They're just brainwashed on a treadmill. And thank God for COVID. And because blah, blah, I know I've got 2 children, as Jackie said, and 4 grandsons. My daughter's in Australia. My son Went to be a paratrooper. Let's have it. What were you fucking doing it for? Well, I'm watching telly, Mum. I want to be like that. Them guys. Oh, for fuck's sake. You were 18, passed out, down the fucking passing out parade. You told me you were going into, Mother, I'm going into, what you done? 3 powers going to Northern Ireland. 3 weeks. Your fucking youngest one going. 2 fucking years too. I was 35. I'm too young to be your mother. How come they didn't beast you, put you off and think you were fucking... He said, Mum, I got this wrong. I thought everybody went in the army, 15, 16, 17. I'm like, well, you're 6 foot fucking 4, 5. You've been at Marine cadets for a few years. I do your fucking bastard washing. You're taking piss. Anyways, when I talk on here and you can't see me, you know what I look like. Well,
Yeah.
that woman, we got, ooh, I remember that woman.
Yeah.
I shoot, we were back end up fucking. And it
Yeah.
was, right. I think I knew something. When I turned round, we had 3 police vans behind us. And the marks were all spread out. We slowed the bastards down.
Yeah, you did.
They had to put me in fucking. I said to you, hang on, love, I have to be outside because that black policeman's eyeing me up. Right? And anyway, somebody come behind me. Do you want a security car? Oh no. Oh, come on then. But I met Jean.
Yeah.
And I do remember somebody opened the door trying to fit you bloody in, and I had this fat bastard. Anyway, we don't know where it wandered off to. I think he might have been abused by 1,000 men. Right? I've seen him walking down, and people have seen him on demonstrations. He left his kit. When the Scottish driver come back, talking, Jean loved it. I mean, if she'd been abused from a baby, when I sat with her in that car, and she's seen all the marks, and the driver said, they've come round again for you, Jean. And you went, fuck you, Jean. Where you been? What happened? I missed that.
Yeah. I was looking for her.
Well, she was with me.
Yeah, but I couldn't. I knew she was in the car, but I couldn't find her. I thought, well, she should have been out by now.
Well, they chucked us out, and you would have think we were Queen coming out of that security car. And I went back and I said, no, it's not me. You've seen me before. No, Jean is a lady.
Yeah.
They must have all known about her. She was the Queen Mother who was.
Yeah.
And
she won't be going out a lot next year.
Oh, shame.
I had her here for 3 weeks for Christmas and that. But she's getting a bit more doddery now, so I won't be taking her out as much.
See, the thing is, last week, when we were cut off because the girls from Wales were coming on, she piped up. I was abused from a baby. And I went, oh my God. How long?
Yeah.
So,
well,
we talk about
she's 80 next year.
But she was a baby in Ulmer Street Hospital.
Yeah.
She didn't even know how she was abused.
No.
But they took her, so they can check back records. And now I'm horrified. They're like newborn babies to abuse. And
yeah,
Jean says, I'm a survivor. Well, I was there for her. And the like, bloke in front, he said, I've come down to England from Scotland for three weeks with my whatever security car, and I'm going here, there, and everywhere, and we're talking. So it's like me and Jean had that conversation. Hang on, shut up. This guy is telling me he's diabetic, that bastard. And he's having a fucking sugar rush. I'm going, where's your kit? He said, the police took it off me at the state. Oh, for fuck's sake, help me. They're talking, what do I do? I'm listening. Oh, I enjoyed 22nd of August. I seen Alan Marriott stand up that day, but somewhere, I don't know how I got him, on my computer, way before, when he first talked about being abused.
Yeah.
And I said to him the other week, put up my, Alan, I actually seen you when you first, you're a different man. He's got, as I said, Jean's old and doddery, she's what, but she was an abused baby.
Yeah. Well,
and way back then, things are coming out. It's like, who was she? People are talking about birth certificate. She was born to two people. She had a birth certificate. She ended up in great. They've got to know who did it. There's so much cover-ups.
Yeah. Well, Alan's come a hell of a long way.
Oh, I know. I love him.
From the beginning. I mean, I knew Alan 50 odd years ago, and I met him again, what, 2 or 3 years ago. And we didn't get on at the beginning. We never got on. It weren't through lies or his fault, it was other people. But since we've joined up again, we do, you know, we get on brilliant. He don't do nothing without me, and I don't do nothing without him. You know, but he, you know, he's come a long way. And Jean, as I say, she's 80 next year. And I was so pleased John Wedger come down and got her, because I could see John then. He come to my house, and, you know, it was lovely to see him.
I was aware, and with the veterans, my son, who's 50 this year, I don't look old enough, and I don't sound old enough to have a 50-year-old son. I was just pleased back then. You can be yourself. Oh my God. I knew from very young, you come out the womb with a fucking gun.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what parachute measurement was. But it was fucking me. I'm taking the piss, mother. I've been in TS Tiger since I was born. Well, I got you, boys, cubs, and this, that, and the other. I've only ever been a brownie.
Yeah.
Right. And we knew we were racist because my dad were a miner. How come you're in Christian church in next village and you're the miners' kids? That church, whatever. Well, I only used to go because I used to pass my library. I was 60, not whatever. But anyway, I learned to lay a table and this, that, and the other. I didn't know all this mining village. My father was Polish. I were a good fucking catch. Jesus Christ. I couldn't find the boyfriends off who wanted to know me. But I've been divorced twice for desertion. Give me credit.
I've been divorced twice as well. I divorced them, they didn't divorce me.
Oh no, I just walked away. Fine, mate. Oh, can you imagine anybody who's listening that bloody Linda had enough fucking knackers to be divorced for desertion? Look, I don't care that we bought us a first house on my 18th birthday. It was maybe because of my references at 15. I don't need money. I don't need much. But I've got two lovely children, two amazing grandsons. We don't need money to have.
No, I've got an amazing daughter. I've got six amazing grandchildren and two amazing granddaughters, great granddaughters, and I'm happy with that.
That's why we're talking tonight. We don't need the money they've got. What makes you think we are cannon fodder? I mean, Jackie was
struggling. I've always struggled. I'm still struggling now.
We don't care.
It doesn't matter to me.
The only thing is, when you struggle, we know how to buy decent potatoes to make them. Who decided we can't? They're not growing King Edwards. You make chips and you make these 6 supermarkets. And I go to one of my friends, hang on, this time of year, I'm waiting for Jersey Royals. And I'm hanging back, I'm doing my best, sorting out my immune system. Fuck me. I get in supermarket. I mean, these don't taste like they fucking used to be. I've got a sister-in-law down in Bournemouth. I probably only married a brother because I got 3 lovely sisters. We talked last March. Oh, Linda, we're on lockdown. They want everybody to put their hand up on furlough to go to the farms and pick the crops. Oh God, I wish I was old enough. I went picking beans, peas and beetroot from 12 years old. And I went picking fucking potatoes after holidays in October, and she did. And she went, you know, Linda, I had to give my mother the money. I didn't get, because I was oldest of 7. I said, no, I got to keep mine. I got to go to Sheffield to see an A. I had the best clothes you've ever seen. But I was working. But this, I want to talk to you because we're on lockdown. We're trying to change things. I got loads of things. Thousands of people said, I don't mind helping us out, go and work through in a farm. Well, they couldn't take them on because they got contracts signed. Well, we'll wait. We'll wait and see if. Well, I could. Well, I might have a price in a million. But I would say to you, my parents used to say to me, we used to get mining villages, South Wales, heritage. My father's Polish. He walked from Poland and he got to England. Polish army in exile. Oh, we used to go up picking in Hereford. We all know about Londoners going up picking. It's like, who made this up? Come on, we got furlough money. Boris and whoever is helping us out. Even if you're only on 80%. Every time we go out shopping, every bloody thing we do is tax. Petrol's got a tax on it. This got how much is real money? And it's like back in the day on them coal mining village.
Oh, Sandy's going. Go on, Sandy. Turn your speaker on. Turn your mic on.
Sandy,
Turn
no.
your mic on. Turn, can't hear you.
Right, so sorry there. Aye, you can. Turn your hearing aid up, Sue. That's it.
I haven't got
Right,
it in
I'm going to go.
actually, so-
One of the Warriors getting a wee call there, right? I'm going to give them a wee bit of support. I'm going through a wee bit of bad timing now. So,
Yeah, I've got to go and ring Jean up at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Well, we'll do
Okay.
our morning coffee together.
Okie dokie.
I'll have my okay,
All
so
right.
good night, all.
Good night. Speak to you. Love you.
Thanks, everyone,
Bye-bye.
again.
All right. Bye.
Bye now, bye.
Bye.
Well, I
Yeah.
had a disabled rail pass, and two of us could go on. So I think we might bump into each other. But
Yeah.
when I needed my rail pass to be renewed for this year, they never sent me an email. Think of.
Oh.
So look, Sue, I know what you look like. We've met before.
Yeah.
Well, crack on. I only come on this because somebody put it up and went, oh, I've got £30 to come on. I think this is good because they're going, I only joined September because it said they're going rogue on 1st of January.
Yeah.
And get me put. I didn't realise when I come on, I've met her. Jesus, small world.
Yeah.
Tell Jean, if you're late ringing her, you remember when you were on that security car, that bloody woman behind you? I've just been talking to her.
I will do. But I ring her every night at 9, you know, so I do like to think, otherwise she panics.
Is there anybody else on here at the moment?
No.
Oh, they've all gone to think about things. Anyway,
Yeah.
Stu,
You take care. Hope you feel better soon.
well, I've got a glass of rum and a lager. I know how. Fuck them pharmaceutical companies. If I've got a fucking, I've not been out.
Oh no.
I put myself on lockdown way back. And I still got a bloody cold.
I've got to go on lockdown. My granddaughter's got COVID.
Really?
Yeah. From today, she got the test back. It's positive. And my daughter and son-in-law got it Christmas.
Oh, God.
So,
well, thanks to Dick Cohn for letting everybody roll around London, down south, picking up them fucking illegal immigrants on the boat coming into Kent.
yeah.
Breathing on.
They're coming in down here as well. We've got loads of them in Hastings.
Yeah.
So, you know, but
anyway, we have to stop. If anybody's listening, we're shutting off tonight, 21:04. Because
you take care, Linda, okay?
Yeah, because you
and I'll speak to you soon.
You need to clock in with Jean.
Yeah, I do. I'll speak to you later, Jason. If he's there, but I think he's gone.
Anyway, so I remember Jean.
I'll tell her.
And
all right.
I thought she'd come on tonight.
No, she was on last Friday, last Sunday. She only comes on when she stays with me.
She coughed up. I was abused as a baby in Great Ormond Street Hospital.
Yeah.
And they put.
Yeah. But she's only ever on here when she comes down to mine.
We'd like to know more.
Mm.
That Great Ormond Street, she's 80. Because they've come in who were her parents. How long is this going on? And she was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, she will do it one day.
Well, yes, I've seen Alan. I don't know how I got him on my Facebook. As I said, it was like, God, what's my son done to me? I'm this bloody mother. I'm going to fucking Northern Ireland and stop them bastards out.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I don't know.
I've got two children and 4 grandsons.
Well, I've got 3 of each.
And we do it for them.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
Nobody else is wanting to listen to us.
That's right.
Jean's buddy scratching her head. Where's Sue? Checking on.
I know, I better go because she'll start ringing and I've turned my phone off. All right then, Linda, take care.
I will.
I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.